Hello. Today we'll be talking about a subject that is part of the Jewish identity. It's an idea that goes through as a thread through many of our mitzvahs, our commandments, our way of life, something that's very, very fundamental for the Jewish people, and especially for the Jewish women. It's part of our identity as women, and it's part of our being as the Jewish nation. We start every morning our day with our prayers, our morning prayers. One of the first morning prayers that we say every day, every morning, is Matovu Oalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Israel. How great are your tents and your homes, the people of Israel. This prayer was said by Bilam Arasha, Bilam the prophet, that was hired by Balak while the Jewish people were going through the 40 years in the desert. Balak hired Bilam, who was a high prophet of high standing, to curse the Jewish people. He was hoping that this curse would strip us from our strength and from the miracles that that was happening to the Jewish people and the whole world at that time heard about. One of the first phrases that Bilam said, he climbed up a mountain, looked down at the Jewish nation, encamped in the valley, in the desert, and he said, what a beautiful encampment. What a beautiful array of tents. How beautifully and special is the way that the Jewish people place their tents. Their tents are protect their privacy. The openings, he noticed, of each tent is facing away from their neighbor's tent. Every family lived in close proximity, but every family was a closed, protected unit, with the opening of their tent not facing their neighbor. People were not sharing in their privacy. And he saw something that we ourselves don't always notice. He saw the beauty and the protection of the privacy of the home. Privacy. What a strange word. A word that's soon going to be out of our dictionary. I wonder if the younger generation, I'm a great-grandmother, so I could speak about a little bit about the younger generation, would understand what privacy really means. We are in a world that privacy just does not exist anymore. Everything's about sharing, knowing, the right to know, the demand to know all the details. Recently just flew into United States as a global entry member. I don't even have to show my passport anymore. I just stand there, and because of some type of way of identifying, I think in the eyes or something, you just walk past by, and the officer that greets me says, "Hi, Esther. How are you? Have a great day." My identity is not mine anymore. There are eyes and cameras wherever I go. Not wherever I go, I'm exaggerating, but let's say the entry into the United States that could identify me by name and greet me without me showing any papers. I search on Google. I needed something for my house. Before I know it, my phone was flooded with advertisements from different companies on the same item. I'm thinking, what did Google send out an email to the whole world saying Mrs. Piekarski is looking for new beds or for a washing machine? And all of a sudden, every time my phone is flooded with advertisements just coming in for different washing machines. Did I feel that my privacy was invaded? Definitely. My search was in my Reshut HaYachid, in my private domain, and it all of a sudden became public knowledge. Our Torah teaches us that privacy is holy. Privacy is dignity. Our Kohen Gadol, the holiest man, on the holiest day, entered the holiest room in the temple, in the Bet Hamikdash, to pray for the whole nation. But he went in by himself. I could see New Age, a demonstration in front of the Bet Hamikdash. We have the right to know. We have the right to put in cameras. We have the right to see. He is, after all, praying for us. But the Torah is giving us a different message, that privacy is something that's very holy. People tend to think that privacy equals secrecy. Privacy is embarrassment, and it's shame. And the Torah says no. When a person, the holier the thing is, the holier the person is, the more precious the thing is, the most precious a person is, and the more protected he is. Privacy is protection. It's boundaries. This is my space. This is my house. This is my body. And these are the stories I share. And these are the stories that I keep within my walls, within my home, within my private space. I feel that somehow we have to learn, myself included, how to give this over, this idea of Hatznea lechet im Elokecha. Hatznea means the private person, the modest person. He goes with God. Hatznea lechet im Hashem Elokecha. Be private, be modest, be holy, be sanctified when you go with God. As women, we know that. Most of our commandments of women, are done in privacy, are done in the privacy of our home, in what we call our Dalid Amot, in our Reshut HaYachid, which means in our private domain and not in the public domain. We all know we have homes and we have public areas. There are rules in public areas and there are rules in private homes. In public areas, you can't just park wherever you want. You can't smoke. In your private home, you are boss. You decide. It's your private space. Walls of our private homes are falling down. They're disappearing. It starts in architecture, which is very nice. No more separate kitchen. Kitchen, is part of the living room. Everybody could see what you're doing, what you're cooking. That's your choice. I've seen walls of bedrooms come down. I've been in homes where I remember in one home, there was no door, and took me a tour of the home. It was a very ancient home, and it was a historic home, a home that was preserved for United States history. And when we passed by the bedroom, she said, come in, you have a great view from here. I don't like going into people's bedroom, but it was like very, very exclusive, historical building. So, she says, tourists come to see, so don't look at it as my private bedroom. I went in, and as I was going out, I put my hand for the mezuzah, and it wasn't there, and she apologized. She said, we gave it to be checked, which was beautiful. And then I noticed there's no door. So I said to her, is the door also being restored? So she says, no, we have no door. And she said a very interesting statement. She says, we're not ashamed of what we do here. Why do we need a door? And I was shocked. I said, what does shameful have to do with it? We're not ashamed of what we do in our bedroom either. It's a place of happiness. It's a place of good feelings. It's a place of connection between husband and wife, of love, of a lot of things. That's not shameful. That's beautiful. It's private. We want to keep it. We don't want it spreading out to the world. Everybody should be part of it. It loses its uniqueness. It loses its dignity. It loses its love. It loses its specialty. It becomes part of the street. Things that are out in the street, in the public, they lose their value. Something that's unique is much more valuable, much more worth, much more. She looked at me in shock. She goes, I thought you guys are embarrassed. I said, we're not embarrassed. Not embarrassed at all. We just keep it in a beautiful place. Our rooms, our holy rooms, our bedroom is the holiest of holiest. And it goes to everything in a woman's body. It goes into conversations at the table. If we learn to speak about everything at the table, our children hear everything, then they didn't learn the concept of there's things you speak at the Shabbos table and the things that you don't. The things that you speak in front of the children and the things that you don't. I'm not talking about being secretive. I'm not talking about being stuck. I'm talking about differentiate between things that are private and things that belong in the public. And to recognize that private is a step higher. Private is completely different than belonging to the public. Something that's out in the public, anybody could touch, anybody could hear. I remember once I spoke to a group of women, and I did not know that somebody was taping it. And then she wrote it up, and she gave it to a magazine to publish. And when I heard about it, I said, it was an evening in somebody's home. I was talking to a group of women. It wasn't out to be published to thousands of subscribers. She goes, the minute you spoke in public, it doesn't belong to you anymore. And out it went like a fire. Actually, this was a halachic question, if they were allowed to do it. But this was an attitude that I saw is starting to be developed. And it's true. It's true. If I post something on the phone and it's shared, it's not mine anymore. It's shared worldwide. Shared worldwide. And I teach in seminaries and I tell girls, you'll post a picture, you don't know where it'll go. So now when you're your own person, it's your life, that's fine. If you like it, even though it cheapens you. To a certain degree, your picture's all over the world. What you ate, what you said, what you did, it's just out there for everybody. It has no more value. It's not even yours anymore. When you get married, you'll be two people. Here comes in privacy. You have to respect the other person. You have to decide together, is this something that we want the whole world seeing, discussing, commenting, sharing? Children are starting to lose the value of what's mine and what's everybody's. And we are giving them the feeling that to be out there is better than to be in here. That everybody should see and know and share and like and to talk about it is more valuable than being private, being dignified, being protected, not being shared. For women, it's a touchy subject. There's a beautiful pasuk, verse. I call it beautiful, and there are women, I'm sure, that feel that maybe it's putting them back in a box, and that's not what I talk about. And that's not what I see in this pasuk. I see in this verse, in this pasuk, a beautiful way of looking at the holiness, the specialty, and the preciousness of women. It says, Kol kvuda bat melech pnima. Kol kvuda bat melech pnima means the beauty and the respect, the dignity of a woman. Pnima. Pnima means her pnimiyut is internal. It's from within. And it could be described in so many different ways and explained in so many different ways, that our respect comes from within. We glow from inside out, now from outside in. It's also telling us what brings us our respect, that we are dignified. We connect to our basic being, which is our privacy. We respect ourselves. We don't need the thumbs up. We don't need the approval of the world. We don't need this identity. We don't have this identity crisis that people didn't notice. We are so connected to ourselves inwardly. We are so wholesome and sure of ourselves, of our worth, that we don't need the public aliyah la Torah, going up to the Torah. And so we don't have to be part of the minyan. We don't even have to go to shul. That's why we light candles in our homes. We go to the mikvah in a building, a closed building. We don't advertise it. Our challahs are in our home. And when we work, we are women of the world. We make sure to keep our boundaries and our dignities. We're not dignity. We're not there to be touched, to be advertised, to publicize everything, who we are, what we do, what we ate, where we went, where we were on vacation, what we did for Shabbos, what we didn't do for Shabbos, what we bought, These boundaries really should come back to protect the women, to protect them like you protect a king. A king goes with guards. A queen goes with guards to protect her. Not everything about the royal family should be publicized. should be known. The mystery is part of being royal. Commoners are common. They're out there. They're in the street. Things that we value, we protect. Actually, in my dining room, I have here a break front. The precious, my valuable crystal, silver, is behind glass. And simple things, simple bottles are on the table. Because this can be touched, falls on the floor, it's fine. It's fine. It's not valuable. The other are protected. They come out for Shabbos, they come out for guests, they come out for Yantif. It shows I respect my guest, my Yantif, my Shabbos with beautiful things. Same with our children. Our children should learn to protect themselves, to know the value of privacy, and that the idea of privacy is because we honor ourselves. It's our honor. It's our specialty as Am Yisrael. Matovu Ohalecha Yaakov. How beautiful are your homes. Something that the world recognizes, and we have to bring that recognition back to our own home. Good luck, everybody.